Hello everyone, welcome back to Ansarkari. In today's video, we will discuss the important newspaper articles from 16 September 2024. So the first article for today says Realizing the Rural-Urban Continuum. So when we talk about be it the smart cities mission या फिर connecting the rural areas with the urban ones for better agriculture, transport, etc. जब हम vibrant villages की बात करते हैं, be it in terms of defense at the border areas and even one district, one product. So these are all the major ways जहाँ पे we are trying to integrate and develop the economy and better social facilities as well in the rural and urban areas. Here, this article mainly suggests कि जो demographic changes हैं, they are occurring in the tier 1 and tier 2 cities as well as the peripheries of the major urban centers and urban agglomerates. तो यहाँ पे इन सब changes को स्पेसिफिकली रूरल या urban तरीके से देखने से बेटर है that we see them collectively and उससे there will be better solutions that can be created with regard to the development aspect that we have in our minds. तो currently अभी problem क्या है अभी current policy framework? There has been an over centralization of finances in recent times. तो यहाँ पे centralization की बात हो रही है in terms of finances. तो financial decentralization जो autonomy provide करता है local bodies को that has been compromised. So 13th Finance Commission pointed out towards these things. Constraints कैसे आते हैं to the grants that are linked to the centrally sponsored schemes and even financial revolution. जैसे कि rise in the property tax in cities. It should commensurate with the rise in state goods and services tax. अगर कोई linkage नहीं है तो जितने भी towns है they will be at risk of losing the tied money grants. तो यहाँ पे अगेन सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम्स आर दो स्कीम्स जिसमें जो फंड होते हैं दैट आर डिवाइडेड बिटवीन द स्टेट्स एंड द सेंटर तो उसका रेगुलेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि इट डज नॉट एक्ट एज अ बर्डन टू द स्टेट फर्दर जो फ्लैगशिप प्रोग्राम्स जैसे कि स्वच्छ भारत मिशन और द अटल मिशन फॉर रिजुविनेशन एंड अर्बन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तो these are both specifically related to the rural and urban respectively. तो अगेन यहाँ पे जो ये अमृत स्कीम है अटल मिशन फॉर रिजुविनेशन एंड अर्बन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तो इनिशियली इट कवर्ड 500 सिटीज बट अब इसको एक्सटेंड भी कर दिया गया एंड इवन स्वच्छ भारत मिशन फॉर दैट मैटर बट स्टिल द कवरेज इज नॉट दैट हाई एज इट कुड बी एंड जो मेजर इश्यूज है जैसे कि अगर हम अर्बन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात करते हैं तो लिक्विड वेस्ट जैसे कि सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट्स एक्सेट्रा एंड इवन जो डिस्पोजल ऑफ द वेस्ट है they are the major issues that are created here. तो जो वेस्ट फ्लो है इन cities and the peri-urban areas, it does not adhere to the urban-rural nomenclature. तो ये एक इशू है कि कैसे देर इज नॉट बेटर इंटीग्रेशन बिटवीन द रूरल एंड द अर्बन एरियाज जैसे कि अगर हम केरला की बात करते हैं नीति आयोग हैज पॉइंटेड आउट दैट 90% ऑफ केरला इज अर्बन तो इस सिचुएशन में जो अमृत ग्रांट्स है they cannot be utilized to create infrastructure. तो अगेन हियर मेनली डिफिकेशन फ्री स्टेटस जो हम स्वच्छ भारत में ही बात करते हैं उसकी बात हो रही है इन रूरल एरियाज और अर्बन एरियाज में मेनली जो लैंड जो वेस्ट डिस्पोजल है जैसे कि लैंडफिल्स एक्सेट्रा तो बेटर लिबर्टी ऑटोनोमी क्योंकि जो गोल्स है दे आर सेम जो पोटेंशियल आउटकम्स है ऑफ बोथ रूरल एंड अर्बन एरियाज तो यहाँ पे बेटर डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन प्रैक्टिसेस शुड बी देयर एन एग्जाम्पल की बात करें तो जो लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट्स इन केरला दे शेयर्ड के proposed solid landfill site का एक मॉडल in the periphery of a town it had to be withdrawn due to public pressure तो ये कैसे possible हो पाया only because both rural and urban local bodies they fall under the same ministry otherwise जो coordination है it becomes longer and it takes more time. Next, when we talk about space sector, कि कैसे there are emerging technologies, be it in terms of space tourism की जब हम बात करते हैं, also setting up of the space station, जिसके की currently nearly 24 travels have been made to the space station. And India की बात करते हैं तो majorly Gaganyaan is there for the Gaganyaan mission to reach out to the space station with the spacecraft. तो यहाँ पे हम बात करते हैं प्राइवेट स्पेस वॉक की. तो प्राइवेट यहाँ पे कैसे आ जाता है, बिकॉज अगेन स्पेस टूरिज्म एक्सेट्रा दीज आर ऑल एसोसिएटेड. स्पेस वॉक में द इंडिविजुअल्स दे विल बी एबल टू गेट आउट ऑफ द स्पेस क्राफ्ट एक्सेट्रा. वो ज्यादा डिस्कवर कर पाएंगे, फील कर पाएंगे कि हाउ द radiations etc they are impacting with the help of devices etc. So SpaceX carrier with the billionaire spacewalker Jared Isaacman and his crew touches down the Gulf of Mexico on Sunday. So they pulled off the first private spacewalk while orbiting 740 kilometers above the Earth, higher than the International Space Station and Hubble Space Telescope. तो अगेन जेम्स वेब टेलीस्कोप हबल स्पेस टेलीस्कोप का अगेन सक्सेसर है एंड मच मोर प्रिसाइज इट इज. तो चैलेंजेस यहाँ पे क्या क्या हो सकते हैं स्पेस सेक्टर से रिलेटेड बात करें तो again growing competition that can be a challenge. Further जो space related जो debris create होता है, space pollution होता है, that can be another challenge here. Further इसका जो scope है, whether it is being used for war like situations etc encroachment के लिए use हो रहा है और actually for the research purposes. So these are some points that we can discuss.
Also, militarization of space is another challenge because space is a global common. So we should have again, is there a common agreement? How will be ensuring that there is it remains demilitarized, because we see that, for example, USA is having a dedicated military force for the space sector. So that is another concern. And then we have Kessler syndrome that is related to space debris. So India is an aspiring yet a responsible power when it comes to the space sector. And in this, as it is mentioned that this private spacewalk the altitude was above the International Space Station and the Hubble Space Telescope. So Hubble Space Telescope is placed approximately 550 kilometers above the Earth's surface, and similarly ISS is also between 400 and 420 kilometers. So this is the low Earth orbit. And this successful first private spacewalk also indicates that the technology which is being developed, or the private sector, for example, here we are seeing SpaceX, their role is going to increase in terms of more such we can say missions. So it we can say ki it seems now that the possibility of space tourism uh, it is much closer now. The challenge in this is also like particularly the cost, the expensiveness.
Next, more women in medicine field than ever, but basic facilities and safe spaces, a distant dream for them. So again, this is regarding the major challenges that women face, be it regarding the violence at home or the fear of being harassed outside the home as well as inside. So there are various challenges with regard to the liberty as well of being able to have attain education and even work. Related schemes जो एक हमने पढ़ी थी that was regarding the freebies, rather not scheme, which was about distributing the bicycles, which again enhanced the enrollment ratio of the girls in particular villages. So these are the small steps that can help us in better enrollment. But what about the next step? That is the safety. So again, grievance redressal mechanisms should be there, and special committees should be there at the workplaces and even in such institutions, educational institutions, that becomes important. She-box की हमने बात करी थी, फिर we talked about regarding the pause and regarding prevention of sexual harassment at workplaces specifically. These are all the major ways. फिर निर्भया funds की भी हमने बात करी थी, but again underutilization that happens in such cases. तो अगर हम देखें तो नंबर ऑफ women doctors per 100 male doctors, तो it has been increasing gradually. 2021 में it declined by 10, लेकिन yes, it is increasing gradually in overall terms. नेक्स्ट लो एंड हाई स्किल्ड जॉब्स। तो जब हम बात करते हैं अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट की, जॉब्स की, तो गैप्स राइजिंग एज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्टैग्नेशन कंटिन्यूज। तो वी हैव ऑलरेडी ऑलवेज बीन डिस्कसिंग कि कैसे जो इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर, इट हैज अ ह्यूज पोटेंशियल इन इंडिया फॉर ग्रोथ, बी इट इन टर्म्स ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट या इवन एक्सपोर्ट या इवन सेल्फ रिलायंस के लिए। तो दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट। एंड मेजरली जो चेंज हमने देखा, दैट वेंट फ्रॉम द मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी टू मोर neoliberal economy after 1991. In that, liberation was provided to majorly the private sectors. The specific that were the public companies that were specifically reserved or created for some of the major of the sectors before, उनको भी open कर दिया गया, so that the other people, they can, like private firms etc., वो भी shares buy कर सके ताकि और ज्यादा better investment हो। अब मेजर यहाँ पे स्कोप कहाँ है इन टर्म्स ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग? तो क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि हब्स क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, फिर हम इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर्स क्रिएट करने की बात करते हैं। फर्दर वी टॉक अबाउट क्रिएटिंग द ग्लोबल कैपेबिलिटी सेंटर्स, एंड लोकल लेवल पे वी ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट क्रिएटिंग द कम्युनिटी सेंटर्स जहाँ पर कि ट्रेनिंग विल बी प्रोवाइडेड। स्किल्स डेवलपमेंट की जब हम बात करते हैं, विश्वमित्र स्कीम एटसेट्रा, perhaps PM Mega Integrated Textile Region and Apparels. So PM Mitra. So PM Mitra parks to develop world-class infrastructure. So again, this is also regarding the exports, okay, how we can focus in these areas. तो डिक्लाइन इन लेबर इंटेंसिव जॉब। सो अगेन वर्ल्ड बैंक की जो रिपोर्ट थी करंटली, इट ऑल्सो मेंशन कि जो चाइना का एग्जिट है फ्रॉम द लो स्किल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग between 15 to 22, India has not been able to harness it. Otherwise, India could have utilized it in a better way. तो अगेन इंस्टेंट पॉलिसी को फॉर्मुलेट करना एंड ट्रैक करना कि वेयर आर द मेजर चेंजेस हैपनिंग, and accordingly planning and employing. तो declining participation in the global value chains. तो इसमें भी again it is one reason कि India has struggled to generate sufficient trade related jobs. तो again backward forward linkages कैसे integrate करना, tariffs को कैसे regulate करना, these are all important. And global capability centers की जब हम बात करते हैं, they have proliferated majorly in India with close to 1600 global capability centers from MNCs across various sectors. And India has become to world what China is for tech hardware. तो ease of business पे हम यहाँ पे focus कर सकते हैं। Further MSMEs में भी जो schemes etc. that are provided, subsidies, so these are the all major measures that can help in boosting the manufacturing sector.
So we say that potential of growth in manufacturing sector is immense for India because we haven't tapped the manufacturing sector, as we have seen that the nature of growth in India was firstly we were dependent upon the agriculture sector post independence, and then we directly leapfrog to the services sector. So our target for the manufacturing sector as in terms of the contribution to the GDP right now, like it is close to 14% of the GDP. We have the target to increase it up till 25% of the GDP. And also when we'll be seeing more growth in manufacturing sector, or when we say manufacturing sector led growth, so that is also important from the perspective that it will help us in achieving the full employment growth in the economy. Full employment growth is the maximum growth that a country can achieve, and simple meaning of full employment growth is that when all the people who are seeking job, they are actually employed. And apart from this, manufacturing-led growth is also important because, as you just mentioned, the backward and the forward linkages. So the challenges that we are seeing in agricultural sector, they would get simultaneously addressed if there would be growth in the manufacturing sector, because the income of the farmers, somewhere it is linked to the growth or buying and selling in the manufacturing sector, or the market which is driving the manufacturing sector. Then we say that the non-agricultural sectors growth, job creation, that is also somewhere dependent upon the growth of the manufacturing sector. So that is why it becomes very, very important and critical for India that we are obviously seeing that the emphasis is being put upon this sector, and also from the perspective of reducing our current account deficit, because in a way we will be self-sufficient in terms of domestic production. We can be again next, we can say, it is often said that we can be next China in terms of manufacturing sector, but why to say next China? We would be, again, it should be addressed in the sense that India would become a strong regional player, particularly in this. And also we are seeing certain advantages right now. For example, if we're talking about the textile sector, so India has the opportunity, given we are seeing political and economic instability in Bangladesh. Then secondly, we are seeing the advantage from the perspective of the China plus one strategy, where we can ensure we can attract more of FDI or base diversification of different businesses which are looking to diversify their bases apart from China. So these are certain natural things. And then thirdly, we can also say that economic growth in China it is also fluctuating, it is getting weakened. So again, India has that opportunity. So again, technological and labor intensive sector together, they can boost manufacturing led growth.
Next, Bangla Rohingya infiltration, major threat to Jharkhand, PM. So again, the ethnic rivalries that take place, or even the major civil wars or protests that take place within the countries, they also impact the neighboring countries. That majorly we have seen in terms of Myanmar, Bangladesh recently. So the Bangladeshi and Rohingya infiltration, they pose major threat to Jharkhand as it is rapidly changing the identity and demography of the Santhal Pargana and Kolhan regions. So again, standing together is important, taking use of the police force, etc. Further, um, taking care of the policy formulation कि कैसे it does not trigger more of such instances and cases.
So we are seeing that infiltrators, they are taking the control of the panchayats and amenities in these areas, which are mentioned particularly like in the Santal Pargana region itself, like Pakur region, Sahibganj, Goda, then Dumka, Deoghar, Jamtara district. These are all in Jharkhand state. So we are seeing like population of tribals that is rapidly changing. Land is being grabbed by the infiltrators. They are actually taking or hindering the governance and the administration at the local and the grassroots level. And then exploitation of women is increasing. So these are the challenges. So we can talk this from the perspective of, again, internal security challenge. Because in this region, we often talk about left-wing extremism. So the threat of infiltrators is also increasing.
Next, dengue cases up to deaths. So again, due to the stagnant water and the constant rainfall that is taking place and poor drainage system, majorly due to this reason, the cases of dengue, they have been increasing at a huge levels. This case, two deaths have even take place. Further, जो till first week of September है वहाँ पे H1N1 swine flu के cases भी they have increased. For the other diseases that like vector-borne disease की जब हम बात करते हैं like chikungunya as well, so they have also seen a major increase. Or further, due to the improper safe and clean conditions, जो cholera और typhoid के cases हैं, even they might see a surge in the upcoming times, and majorly all due to the uncleanliness. और जो हम बात कर रहे हैं majorly जो सबसे ज्यादा vulnerable population है, those are the individuals living in the slum areas itself, because they are more prone, be it economy or physically, to such exploitations and deprivations. तो इसके लिए क्या क्या मेजर कर सकते हैं? तो as soon as the water rate settles down again, long term के लिए तो यही कि better drainage system को create करना. Further, we can help by distributing the mosquito nets, specifically अगर डेंगू और vector-borne disease की बात करते हैं तो जो नियर प्लेसेस में जो वाटर स्टैगनेंट इकट्ठा हो रहा है, उसके ऊपर मे बी वी कैन पुट सम ऑयल या फिर इवन द मेडिसिन दैट आर प्रोवाइडेड so as to prevent the bleeding and generating more awareness regard to it.
And it is also related to somewhere lack of planned urbanization because of
Mm,
again the clogged drains that we are seeing.
mm,
So when we are talking about the reasons, so we see that deaths are because of dengue hemorrhagic fever, or it is also called as dengue shock syndrome. So it leads to sometimes like virus, it damages the blood vessels, it leads to internal bleeding, plasma leakage is there, or there's drastic drop in the platelet counts. So it causes clotting issues in the body. And as far as vaccine development is concerned, so recently only we have seen that first vaccine, which is named as Q dengue. It is being developed by Panacea Biotech, and this has received the approval for commercial usage in 2023. So vaccine has been again developed recently. So again, its cost, its affordability, its accessibility in the availability and adequate stock in the primary healthcare centers becomes very important.
further cyber tehsil, so a radical step towards pro-poor revenue government in Madhya Pradesh. So again, it's an initiative to improve revenue administration with innovative IT intervention for rural families. तो जब हम बात करते हैं डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन की, मोर फोकस, लिबर्टी, ऑटोनॉमी एज ए जस्ट नाउ रेड टू द लोकल गवर्नमेंट्स, क्यों वो इतनी इम्पोर्टेंट है to solve the issues at the local level itself, at the ground level, ताकि जो issues है they don't get created, they don't get increased in terms of be it quantity or even quality. The issues they don't get deepened enough to create further problems. इसी में ही जब हम बात करते हैं डिजिटल इंटीग्रेशन की या फिर द इंटरवेंशन ऑफ आईटी, तो ऐसी ही एक एग्जांपल है ऑफ साइबर तहसील. तो साइबर तहसील इनिशिएटिव है. Here the revenue cases are being resolved in very short time. So majorly for the economic grievance redressal, this is there कि जो भी issues है be it regarding the between the centers and the state or the local government, या फिर even regarding the various sectors कि कहाँ पे क्या issue has been created with regard to the finance contribution, तो उसके लिए they will solve these cases. So it was 60 days through manual process, so a great relief to stakeholders. So within a particular time limit, fast solving of cases will be seen here. So paperless है, faceless है, contactless है, cyber tehsil. They do online transfer and updating of land records. Again, this also cases हैं, court के cases हैं, they all even will get eased out. जो out of pocket expenditure होता है या फिर the economic burden and stress that families face, even in the land cases, so they will also get reduced. So majorly it is regarding the land cases. Further, the cyber tehsildar hai matches the registered documents with the revenue land records are issue karte notice through SMS to the buyer, seller, and all the residents of the concerned village. तो वेरी नाइस इनिशिएटिव दिस इज। और ऑब्जेक्शन का भी इसमें एक लिंक है दैट विल बी प्रोवाइडेड। तो अवेयरनेस सबको बताना एट द टाइम इटसेल्फ। तो better accountability and transparency. These are the important key terms here. Revenue administration की हम यहाँ पे बात कर रहे हैं at the local level. तो जो नामांतरण है, resolution of transfer of names. तो prompt implementation होगी of the land records following transfer of the names. Next, democratic engagement with a digital plugin. तो जब हम बात करते हैं कि कैसे जो पॉलिटिकली जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज होती हैं, जो इलेक्शंस which take place, how the digital plugin and the digital intervention helps it as well as creates major challenges, be it for the um, political parties, the candidates themselves, the representatives themselves, or even for the voters. And overall, the stability होती है, even in that case, how to prevent misinformation or even disinformation for that regard. तो यहाँ पे एक एग्जाम्पल है आपकी, हम यहाँ पे बात करते हैं, दैट इज लीव ईयू, लीव यूरोपियन यूनियन। तो हेयर जो ब्रेग्जिट रेफरेंडम है, तो सोशल मीडिया, वो उससे पहले सोशल मीडिया इट वाज फ्लडेड with the posts and advertisements. तो again, these are the such data driven content जो कि shape करते हैं perception को of the individuals, and here they push the individuals towards voting to leave the European Union, and hence Brexit. Brexit was the exit of Britain, hence the term Brexit. So the digital campaigns, again, they are now central to the electoral strategies. Be it even on the like Instagram app पे भी जब हम देखते हैं, the reels etc. that are uploaded by the political parties themselves, how even they are using AI, such music, such sound, such creative um, ideas, so as to put forward their idea in opposition to the opposing party. तो यहाँ पे हम कुछ की टर्म्स की बात करते हैं, तो दैट इज माइक्रो टारगेटिंग। तो ये एक एडिशनल लेयर है टू द डिजिटल स्ट्रैटेजी, जिसमें कि बेस्ड ऑन लोकेशन, क्या क्या लैंग्वेज है ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल्स इन द पर्टिकुलर रीजन, उसके अकॉर्डिंग द videos or the images or the use of AI as well, that can be done so as to influence the individuals. अब बात करते हैं कि कंट्रीब्यूशन कितना होता है। तो रिसेंटली जो कन्वेंशनल टूल्स है ऑफ पब्लिसिटी और प्रोपोगेंडा, जैसे कि फ्लैग्स, बिलबोर्ड्स और पब्लिक मीटिंग्स एंड रैलीज, दे कॉन्स्टिट्यूट ओनली अराउंड 16% when we talk about the भारतीय जनता पार्टी, and 7% when we talk about the कांग्रेस। तो यानी जो majority है of the party propaganda budget, that is spent on the digital advertisements itself, be it on YouTube, etc. Because again, there is a shift that is seen in the individuals as well. अब मेजर इश्यूज की अगर हम यहाँ पे बात करें तो क्या क्या है, तो फर्स्ट इज रिगार्डिंग द डिस्पैरिटी इन द फाइनेंशियल रिसोर्सेज among the political parties with regard to the advertisement spending. तो इसके regarding we had also already learned regarding it, read regarding it, कि कैसे that is a challenge, कि क्या set contribution होना चाहिए on this to prevent the over expenditure on advertisements. Second is regarding the content regulation, कि क्या जो content है, whether it is right or not, और वो ethical है या नहीं. So all these areas they can be discussed regarding it. And third is regarding the platformization, which has led to the varied content strategies across the digital platforms. ऐसे जो digital platforms हैं उनमें भी the competition etc. this is being created. और जो फेयरनेस है दैट माइट इवन गेट इम्पैक्टेड। जैसे अगर हम मेटा की बात करते हैं, तो जो एडवर्टिजमेंट्स हैं दे आर इन्फ्लेमेटरी और प्रॉब्लमैटिक कंटेंट दे हैव। तो रिफॉर्म की नीड है, स्पेसिफिक एक्ट्स एक्सेट्रा लेजिस्लेशंस दे आर नीडेड फॉर द डिजिटल एडवर्टाइजिंग। नेक्स्ट अ ह्यूमन टच टू इंडियाज मिनरल इकोसिस्टम। तो जब हम मिनरल्स की बात करते हैं तो अगेन उनका एक्सप्लॉयटेशन दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर इंडिया। अगेन रिजर्व्स को फाइंड करना, ट्रैक करना, जियो मैपिंग करना, एंड उसके बाद फर्दर देयर प्रोसेसिंग, कैसे वी कैन एक्सट्रैक्ट देम एंड यूज देम टू आवर फुल पोटेंशियल। जैसे अगर हम लिथियम की भी बात करते हैं फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो उस रिगार्ड में भी हाउ इट कैन हेल्प इन द ईवीज और जो इमर्जिंग सेक्टर्स हैं इन द एरियाज हैं इन द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर इटसेल्फ। Further, when we talk about the implications, so again, जो rehabilitation होता है of the individuals that are actually living in those areas. Further, rat mining की जब हम बात करते हैं, जिसमें children are used as laborers because of their shorter height, that can be an implication. Further, over exploitation regarding this, and also जो natural resources हैं वो कितना ज़्यादा deplete हो रहे हैं. So these are the major issues regarding the minerals. यहाँ पर again there is one more issue that is majorly focused upon in the article, that is how can we balance this economic growth with the local welfare and rights. तो एग्जाम्पल क्या दे रखा है यहाँ पे, कैसे कर सकते हैं? जो माइंस मिनरल डेवलपमेंट एंड रेगुलेशन एक्ट है, MMDR एक्ट, that was amended in 2015, and उसमें एक new body was created उसके अंदर, that was the District Mineral Foundation, जहाँ पे licenses and lease holders, they pay the DMF a certain amount of royalty. So again this can further help the local communities uh, with regard to the development. तो फर्दर अगर हम बात करते हैं तो कम्युनिटी सेंट्रिक डेवलपमेंट दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट, डिसेंट्रलाइज कम्युनिटी सेंट्रिक डेवलपमेंट। और स्कीम की बात करते हैं तो प्रधानमंत्री खनिज क्षेत्र कल्याण योजना, तो दिस ऑल्सो अगेन इट एंटर्स इट्स 10th ईयर। तो अगेन ये ट्रांसफॉर्म कर देती है मिनरल वेल्थ को इनटू अ लाइफलाइन ऑफ डेवलपमेंट इन माइनिंग अफेक्टेड रीजन्स। कैसे जो लॉस क्रिएट हो रहा है इट कैन बी फर्दर compensated through this these royalties, क्योंकि पहले again in the mining it was the first come first serves basis, लेकिन now it has shifted towards the auction since a few years. So self-help groups they are set up by the DMF, that is District Mineral Foundation, जो again young minds को train करता है with regard to technology etc. Inclusivity और ज़्यादा increase हो रही है by including the elected representatives in the government bodies.
So there was a question also in prelims regarding the functioning or the objective of the District Mineral Foundation. So one statement was that it is the main objective is to promote more mining at the local level. So what would you say, Prerna, whether this is true or false?
According to me, it might be false.
Yes, it is false. It will not promote mining. It
Hmm.
will ensure rather welfare of the mining affected communities from the perspective of focusing upon the health, the education, and there is again a district mineral foundation fund also. So
Hmm.
as you just mentioned that the royalties have also to be paid. So this is also another sustainable way of raising revenue or finances at the local level.
Hmm.
Apart from this is an example of also sustainable development. It's functioning, and
Resource management.
these are not like these foundations are applicable only in the mineral rich districts of India. So these are not like pan India, only in the regions where we are seeing major mining activities which are happening.
Hmm.
And these are the important facts. So for example, if we talk about some of the like mines. So one is Kionjar mine is there in Odisha. Then Singrauli, again, this was also asked in prelims. Singrauli is in Madhya Pradesh. So the funds of the District Mineral Foundation Fund have been successfully used to improve the healthcare infrastructure, providing safe drinking water, benefiting the mining affected communities. So inclusive development, sustainable development, example of cooperative federalism, balancing growth and the welfare together.
Thank you, Manjari, for adding. Next is a crucial election in Sri Lanka. So again, when we talk about the how the neighboring countries of a particular country, specifically India with this regard, so unki stability is also very important. So as to further enhance the relations and better security with India. So currently Sri Lanka की बात करते हैं तो major there were two countries, center left Sri Lanka Freedom Party and United National Party. Now there is an emerging third party, that is National People's Power Alliance, led by the Janatha Vimukti Peramuna. तो यहाँ पे श्रीलंका के लिए इलेक्शंस important क्यों है? Why are they crucial? Because again, they now will be the elections first since the ousting of the former president due to the economic crisis that happened 2 years ago. जहाँ पे again debt conditions were also created in Sri Lanka. So the elections they were postponed last year due to the lack of funds. तो manage नहीं कर पाएंगे तो what will be the benefit here? But now there will be the election that will take place and further we can see कि कैसे वो और ज़्यादा stability में help कर सकते हैं इंडिया को, be it when we talk about the security in the Indian Ocean region and further in terms of ports etc के development maybe how we can secure such areas, major developments, infrastructure investment जो कि इंडिया कर सकता है. Further the common routes that are created between India and Sri Lanka और फिशरमैन के जो राइट्स होते हैं उनके ऊपर भी we can have greater deeper discussions. एंड करंटली challenges क्या है? अगेन एक डेट ट्रीटमेंट प्लान को क्रिएट करना बिकॉज अगेन इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन द इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस ऑफ श्रीलंका. एक मीनिंगफुल इकोनॉमिक रिकवरी होना and even better representation since there is no woman candidate running this time, and policies also better forward policies. Next, what are AM FM signal modulation? तो अगेन मॉड्यूलेशन की जब हम बात करते हैं सिग्नल मॉड्यूलेशन तो इट एम्पलीफाइज द टेक्नोलॉजीज that are required to send and receive good quality signals carrying information. जैसे हम बात करते हैं कि न्यूज एंड इवन द सॉन्ग्स ऑन रेडियो, तो सिग्नल मॉड्यूलेशन इट इज द मेजर वे ऑफ डूइंग सो. फिर हम बात करते हैं एएम और एफएम की. तो AM stands for amplitude modulation and FM it stands for the frequency modulation. तो ये समझना important है कि what exactly are amplitude and frequency. तो amplitude will be the height of the wave. कि अगर wave taller होगी तो amplitude will be higher. And frequency is the number of successive crests and troughs that are created. जब हम एक wave की बात करते हैं तो जितने ज्यादा crests और troughs होंगे यानी कि उतनी ज्यादा उसकी frequency है, which is measured in hertz. तो again Morse code का भी यहाँ पे use होता है so as to actually create and transmit it. इससे amplitude modulation बोलते हैं इसको, जिसमें कि you fix the frequency by dropping the stones at fixed intervals. Instead, you change the pebble's weight, resulting in the waves of different amplitudes. तो अगेन वेव्स के लिए अब यहाँ पे फेज मॉड्यूलेशन की भी बात करते हैं कि ये क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है, बिकॉज जो स्लाइट चेंजेस होते हैं इन द सिग्नल एम्पलीट्यूड वो इंफॉर्मेशन जो कैरी कर रहे हैं उसको चेंज नहीं करेंगे, इसलिए देर आर मल्टीपल वेव्स दैट आर यूज्ड हियर. तो फीचर की बात करते हैं तो important advantage of modulation is that multiple signals modulated differently they can travel in the same channel, जैसे कि airwaves in a city or fiber optic cable without interrupting each other.
And amplitude, it decides the loudness or the intensity, whereas frequency decides the pitch.
and analogs are used here to receive them.